An easy one for once. Got it. 1486 Westfield Crescent. Nice neighborhood on the east side. No prob. Here you go. 216 Vermont Drive, residential area, northwest.
We need to check out Gus's story. If Meryl was laying on stage, playing dead at the time she was shot, our trajectory theory is out of whack. Let's see where it points to. Now we got it. With the sloping angle of the wound, if Meryl was laying on stage when she was shot, it would have come from that box seat. Looks like a shoe print, loafer, or maybe dress shoes. Interesting print, impressed more towards the instep, suggesting a slight pronation. Water stain, possibly. Faint trace of some powder. Nice catch. You are good.
Yes? Walk over to the computer and you'll find that shoe print scanned in. I scanned the shoe print into the computer. Well, at first I thought we had residue from drinking water. See, I found traces of fluoride. Only further tests gave up various levels of copper, cadmium, nickel, and antimony. Water picks up traces of these elements passing through various pipes. You may be able to narrow down the neighborhood of origin with a computer search. Traces of barium, lead, and antimony. Main ingredients of that ever-popular favorite, gunshot residue.
So we've narrowed down our killer's perch. Now if we can only narrow in on the killer, and a reason for the killing. Seems the owner of these shoes from the prop room has been lurking around the balcony box seats. Interesting. The water that made the stain in the balcony came from a municipal water supply.
Excuse me?
Gus told us about it. I guess when you fight on stage, the stage manager notices.
Oh, that. No, that was no argument. We were just agreeably disagreeing over the motivation of my character. In the scene, maybe I got a wee bit bent out of shape, since this was my role we're talking about, not hers. Creative differences. Sisterly squabble.
Including a sisterly black eye?
Black eye? What are you talking about? You know, suddenly, I am not liking the tone of this. I don't want you poking around in my things, my business, not unless it's official. Understand?
Yeah? What do you need, guys? It's likely evidence at the Colby woman's home might corroborate your stage manager's story, along with his peeping Tom pics. You've got your warrant.
All right. All right. Anything to put an end to this.
That's all we need right now. Passion's running a little hot, but I wouldn't call this a love letter. Think these will fit me? Certain kinds of bodily fluids fluoresce, such as the kind you'd expect to discover in clothing like this, after a stimulating night. Heather's a college grad, bachelor in performing arts.
What's up? I sent the prints you found on the letter over to the computer. Profiler friend of mine at the FBI gave this a thorough content analysis. Sometimes even a short message can provide insight, though a longer message would have been better. My guy says we're likely looking for somebody with a university education, sociable, assertive, who tends to read a lot of very visual, descriptive fiction. Screenplays, maybe. Okay, good news, bad news. This could be the mystery tool from the prop room wall, but it wasn't the tool that made the marks on the bullet fragment from the Vic's wound.
That still doesn't clear Gus, though. Guy always seems to know more than he's saying.
Vaginal fluid. Got a little excited myself. Well, because this is a great source for DNA.
We've confirmed that soap opera tale our stage manager was hinting about. Either Meryl and Heather were sharing their undies, or they were sharing a lot more than that. But infidelity is a three-way street, meaning to Meryl and Heather, we have to add Clayton. Whoever wrote this letter was in the prop room recently.
Need something? Search of National College records? Sure. Clayton Regis, 92. Got a bachelor's in anatomy and physiology. Maine University, Fort Trent. Decent marks, got through on a biathlon scholarship. Few credits short of a diploma, though.
Biathlon. That's skiing and sharpshooting.
What's up? An argument and a love affair? While your trajectory analysis suggests she probably didn't kill Meryl herself, we still need the story between those two.
If I were, and I didn't say that, what business of yours would that be? Why can't you let Meryl rest in peace?
She might rest more peacefully with her murderer behind bars. We have physical evidence suggesting you two were intimate. We'd like you to confirm that.
Would you? Try holding your breath. You'd look cute in blue. I had nothing to do with that.
Really? You definitely fit the profile of the person who wrote it. Now we just want to know who you were going to send it to.
I don't know what your computers or your experts told you, but I didn't write that damn letter, all right? I found it under my door the other day. If you would like to know who might want to threaten me, I'd suggest you look at that abusive husband of hers. Clayton, where do you think she got that black eye from anyway? All right. Anything to put an end to this.
Yes? Hey, I scanned that print into the computer for you.
What? Where? Oh, at the Colossus? No, if I'm around for rehearsals, I watch from the dress circle. Of course. They were co-starring in a show. They're old pals who both live in town. Is it surprising Meryl would be over there quite a bit? Why? What do you know that I don't know? I was wondering about that. The mortician had to cover it up. I thought it had something to do with her falling after she was shot. Heather Colby? Of course not. Why would you even suggest that? She and I aren't friends particularly, but I wouldn't... Hey, I mean, I have no reason to talk to her, let alone send her letters. Listen, guys, I understand you have a job to do, but I'm mourning the loss of my wife, and I just don't have any stomach for this right now, okay?
That's all we need right now.
Yeah? What do you need, guys? His profile matches the analysis from the letter. His wife was sleeping around with another woman, who implies that Clayton was the one who gave Meryl the black eye. Well, I'd say that's an invitation to dine. Go see what the happy couple's home has to tell us.
I told you this was a bad time. Okay, look, just try to have a little respect, will you?
That's all we need right now. Well, our anatomy student seems to keep up his studies. Maybe he's finally going to finish that diploma. Or maybe he's already graduated, murder cum laude. Bruno Pagli Lozano loafers, size 10. That's really strange. There's some holes drilled into this soap. Pair of pliers. Looks like they were tossed in here recently.
Hey. Bruno Pagli Lozanos. Definitely my style, definitely not my price range. I'll scan them into the computer for you. Bar of soap, holes drilled into it. When I noticed they came to a point, I remembered that missing .308 caliber rifle your stage manager mentioned earlier. That got me to thinking, and I took some measurements.
Let me guess. Same as that rifle?
You're guessing again. I'm gonna tell Grissom that you're right. Perfect cast of a .308 caliber rifle bullet. Standard drinking thermos for keeping things hot or cold. Little water in it, so I took a leap and sent a sample to the computer for you to search the chemical profile. Perfect match to the tool used to pry the bullet out of its casing.
We've got a drama unfolding worthy of the Colossus stage. Soap, drilled to the same caliber as bullets that could be used in the missing bolt-action rifle, and pliers that match the tool marks to the smaller .22 caliber bullet that pierced Merrill's heart. This comes as close as possible to matching the shoe prints found on the carpet. I'm starting to like Merrill's husband for this. How about you? Not surprising that it's from a municipal water supply, but what's even more interesting is that the chemical profile of the water is nearly identical to the water we found in the balcony.
Need something? Plenty of mounting evidence against hubby here. Too much to ignore. A little grief counseling seems called for.
What are you talking about? I was never up there. Why would I be there?
You tell us, because we can prove you were. Your shoe prints match prints on the carpet, and water stains from the floor match the chemical composition of water from your home.
Water from my part of town found in that balcony? Oh, how damning. It's a real smoking gun, huh? You people. You take somebody going through the kind of horror I am, and then you make crazy accusations based on flimsy circumstantial evidence?
Oh, we're just getting started, Mr. Regis. Of course, you could give us something that might clear all of this up right away.
What's my other option?
There isn't one. That's all we need right now.
Yes. Prints in the computer for you. You're welcome.
Well, after all this, we're down to CSI 101. Fingerprints that match. Doesn't get much more incriminating than this. I think it's time to fold Clayton's show.
Yeah? What do you need, guys? Yeah, let's see if your suspect has anything else to tell us.
Confession? Here's what I will confess. I loved my wife, and I miss her dearly. And I would never harm a hair on her head.
Maybe not, but you give her a black eye, right? You see, Mr. Regis, while you're lying, your fingerprints refuse to. You wrote that threatening note, you found out Merrill and Heather were an item, and gave your beloved a black eye over it. but you were just warming up. You were hanging around when that photo shoot, including the gun close-ups, was underway. You saw and took an opportunity. You snuck into the prop room, stole a scoped rifle as well as a couple of bullets and a blank round. Easy enough to cobble together a noise suppressor, wrap the barrel in a towel, or baffle it with a plastic bottle. Making a mold in the soap, you froze the smaller handgun bullet into an eye-shaped bullet big enough to fire from the rifle. You dropped your wife off at the theater, went to Java Net and Brew for an alibi, then snuck back into the balcony with the rifle and thermos packed with ice to keep your ammunition cold. There, you waited patiently for Meryl to lower herself onto that stage and make an easy target for a biathlon marksman like you. The idea was to make it all look like an accident. When the ice melted away, all that would be left was a bullet that matched the caliber of handgun Heather was holding. The photo shoot provided a reasonable explanation for a bullet winding up accidentally in Heather's gun when she pulled the trigger. What a sweet irony, huh, Mr. Regis? Kill your cheating wife and at the same time bestow her lover with a lifetime of guilt?
Smug. So smug. What do you know about it? I put myself second to that woman. Her career was the be-all and end-all, and that was fine. I loved her. I believed in her. I was happy to be the house husband pursuing his modest little local career while she made it big. But making it with that tramp wasn't part of the bargain. I sacrificed everything for that woman.
Yes, you did, Mr. Regis. You really did.
All the world may be a stage, only here at CSI we won't play the fool. An ice bullet puts the cold in cold-blooded murder, but a crime of passion always makes for mistakes in the heat of the moment.